Welcome to Daily Devotionals for Nurses. And my name is Tola. So previously I told you that crying out is a weapon and you need to use this weapon, right? We were in Judges 6 and we're seeing how the children of Israel were being dealt with by the Midianites and other oppressors. And in verse 6 and 7, when they cried out to the Lord, he sent a prophet to them. So sometimes when you utilize the weapon, when you cry out, when you call out, when you say, Lord, help me, he sent you a word before the breakthrough. So if I could title this, I would say the word before the breakthrough. And so the Lord sent them a prophet in verse 8, Judges 6, verse 8, that the Lord sent a prophet to the children of Israel who said to them, thus says the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all who oppress you, and drove them out before you and gave you their land. So the prophet started by recounting God's power and his sovereignty, acknowledging what he had done for them in the past, just in case you have forgotten how God delivered you, how God saved you. And this is why I say we need to keep journals. Keep a journal where you record the miracles you've experienced, the breakthroughs you've experienced, because not sometimes, human beings forget easily. And when you forget, it can lead to resentment, it can lead to disobedience, right? Think about a spouse who consistently forgets how good their spouse is, the wonderful things they do for them every day. Bring them coffee, they're thoughtful, they acknowledge their feelings and their emotions. But next week, it's like, what do you do for me? You don't do anything for me, right? That is like, whoa, 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 calm down now, right? So the prophet started by reminding them of God's goodness to them, of what he had done in the past. You need to have a record. You need to record what God has done. Be grateful, right? Gratitude prevents resentment. Gratitude prevents forgetfulness. For me, there are times I go back and I look at my journals and I am just so amazed. I'm just so amazed. And I get to remember how wonderful God has been, how marvelous he has been. I get to remember how he helped me, how he directed me. I get to remember things that I had forgotten because it may be 10 years or 5 years. And when I read those journals and I remember, it brings up gratitude again. It brings up thankfulness again. And that was that was the first thing the prophet, he reminded them of the things God had already done. He reminded them of God's faithfulness, of God's power, and how he delivered them, that their God is a deliverer. It says, I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all who oppressed you. Maybe right now you're trying to go to your next level and you're like, I need to do my NP or my DNP. And you've forgotten how hard nursing school was. And you're like, I don't know if I can do this. But when you remember how hard nursing school was and that you came through it, right? Or for some of you, maybe you remember how hard being a single parent was, maybe your parenting journey, or back when you earned so little and now you're looking at bigger amounts. You've forgotten how you used to scrape for change just to feed yourself one meal a day. Remember God's faithfulness to you, even though you were unfaithful. Remember God's goodness to you, even though you were not good back to Him. You forgot. Thankfully, God sent a prophet who reminded them. He reminded them how good God was, that God was a deliverer. That He delivers from those who oppress. So He gave them a word to remind them of how good God was. So remember today. Go back and just look through. Remember how good God has been to you. Just remember that today. Just remember that today.